Ladies and gentlemen, three stocks that can absolutely blow your portfolio this month of August. We will talk about that. And prologue to these three stocks, I will give you the base case, okay, why I chose these three stocks, because two of them are highly related to what will follow in the next 2 minutes, okay? On the market, there's a lot of analysts, but some are a little bit better, some are a little bit worse. My favorite people on the market that you can see on CNBC, on other type of media, are those that are really fact-based, okay? They are looking into the facts, they putting all of the noise away and just focusing on what is really great, what really moves the market, and how maybe seemingly bad situations are not so bad in the end of the day, okay? Tom Lee is one of those. He predicted that the Bitcoin will be higher than 25,000. He predicted the S&P will go higher and higher and higher every single month, okay? He went on CNBC every single month and said, you know, I believe because of this and this, the S&P 500 is going higher, and it went higher. But the most impressive thing, for my personal opinion, is that he called the bottom in March 2020. Yes, have a look in this video.
Is this legit?
Yes. I'd say that the way your viewers might want to question this is, when did rallies fail in 09, 02, and 87? And that is, how much of the loss did they recover before it became a double bottom? That level in the S&P today would be 2475 if this was 2009, so you never had more than a 25% retrace. Or if it's 87 and 02, it's a 38% retrace, which is 2600. So the S&P is beyond what would normally be, hey, this is the ceiling and it's an interim bottom, you're going to retest a low. And I think the key number is 2793, because that means you've recovered half of your losses. If we get to 2793, that's typically telling us we're deep into a bull market recovery. And, something that I think we've been writing about is these declines tend to be symmetric. That's something that people think this will take a long time to resolve. The faster you fall, the faster your recovery. Historically, you recover half your losses in half the time you fell. So this means that we could see 2,800 before the end of the month.
I know, but it seems absurd, Tom, frankly, to be using the words bull market in the current environment, just because the numbers in New York and maybe elsewhere too seem to be improving a bit. There's a long way to go. I feel uncomfortable almost using those words.
Scott, I agree. It makes no sense. But I would say that I'm not going to try to tell the market what to do. I'm going to try to maybe understand what the market's doing. And there's three reasons this could be happening. One is the crisis could be ending faster than expected. Remember, the White House originally thought 2 million mortality. It looks like we're going to undershoot that. The second is the consumer could come back huge, which is why the retailers and the industrials are bouncing. Remember, if you look at low market value per employee stocks, they're the ones that got hit the hardest, but they're the ones that will benefit from labor supply. And the third is that policymakers acted quickly. So if one of those three is true, maybe this is why the market is staging a strong recovery.
So as you can see, he predicted pretty much exactly the bottom of the market in March 2020, which then gave you the opportunity to really gain 400-500% with stocks like Tesla or other things, okay? So this guy knows a thing about too, and he actually said the following just 2 days ago, and here, have a look what he is saying about the month of August.
We've seen the charts of the UK, the cases peaking. We've seen sort of a similar chart if you overlay that with, I think it's Missouri in terms of its caseload. And so those things are very promising in terms of data. But in terms of your call that the 10-year yield will actually emerge from this critical juncture and go higher, is that based on anything, or is that just your belief that, because it sounds like this whole bullish call for August is predicated on these two things, and one of those things is sort of just a hold your finger to the wind kind of call?
That's right. I mean, markets are unpredictable and interest rates are even more unpredictable. So again, I would probably be more appropriately saying, I think the probabilities of rates rising more than consensus expects is what we think will happen in August if the Delta variant starts to roll over. So I think interest rates and cases and markets are all kind of connected here. But really, over the next couple of weeks, we think that plays out favorably for stocks.
Hey, Tom, I'm obviously concerned, like everyone socially, about Delta variants. I'm not worried about the long-term impact on the economy, frankly. I'm a lot more worried about the Fed's role in the market. So as you look to the next couple months, because it's all about the Fed, and Lael Brainerd was out there late last week, and I think her voice is probably as loud as it's ever been relative to her place in the Fed about, the Fed's got to wait for at least September data. That probably doesn't come out till October. There's not a Fed meeting till November. I mean, doesn't this give you kind of the view that the Fed is not in your face until probably late October, November?
Yeah, Tim, that's a great point. I mean, markets really should worry about the Fed because the Fed is one of the most important influences on the market. And while last week's meeting might have had some hawkish surprises, ultimately the Fed can't, the Fed has no crystal ball greater than the markets. And if it can't see around the Delta variant and the hesitation it's creating among corporates and even OPEC, I'm not sure that anyone should say the Fed is suddenly more hawkish. I think it does give the Fed a dovish tilt. And as you know, a dovish tilt is great for stocks.
So as you can see, he actually looking into two things. First is the uncertainty that can in the end give a relief for the market of the Delta variant. So, and actually he is going into following, okay? This was posted by his research company Fundstrat. And here you can see that the Delta actually surge went off of the peak in about 50 days in India. Then the same was observed in the UK for about 45 days, okay? And then it peaked and went downwards. And the same is expected to be obviously done in US as well. So here you can see expected peak will be 14th of August. So this will be a relief for the market, okay? So second thing that he's talking about is the bond yield. As you know, we are falling quite heavily over the last couple of weeks, which always gives us indication that the economy is not that well, okay? But he believes that there's actually an important part that we are crossing right now. As you can see, the yellow here is the 100-week trading average, and he believes that we should bounce off of that. We are there currently at around 1.27. The current one is about 1.17. So as you can see, very, very close here. And he believes that around that we will bounce off and will see higher bond yields, which is then a sign of a great economy or greater becoming economy, and therefore higher stock prices. So this is the best scenario, okay, that he is envisioning in the current market condition. This means that there are very, very interesting recovering trades possible for this year, okay? Because, those are the most, let's say, pushed back stocks when there's a Delta variant, fear on the market. Is COVID not over? There will be more and more coming? What about travel? And here we go to the top 3. But before we diving into that, let's go into the most interesting crypto that I ever talked about. As you know, I'm partnering with GSX because those guys are really working hard, okay? If you haven't heard about GSX, it is a brainchild of Apollo Fintech, which is an established blockchain company. They did already projects for governments. They issued different kind of currencies. Very experienced team, very hardworking, very, very smart in their new upcoming products and activities that they, trying to keep on the GSX community quite active, okay? And they are coming out with very, very much interesting things. But if you haven't heard about GSX, let me quickly explain it to you in 10 seconds. Basically, it's a growth coin and stable coin combined. On the one side, it will grow because the backing assets, gold and gold mines that the CEO Steven is contracting for GSX and Apollo FinTech is actually backing the currency. So you have like basically a gold standard that also is very, very tremendous important for bear markets, okay? So you can see here where the beauty is there, okay? As more assets are added, and we are talking here about the billions of assets, that they want to have the assets backed the GSX currency so much that the assets will represent a $1 GSX coin price, okay? Which is a huge opportunity if you consider that the GSX price is currently $4. So really, really undervalued if you see the whole roadmap, okay? But that to the side. They actually came out with, bonus on your purchase of GSX. They also came out with competitions where you can, win Lamborghinis when you purchase more and more GSX. And now they came out with a game. Yes, with a game where you can actually play and you will get real gold when you collect the same in the game. The game is like beautifully made. Everything that GSX is touching is high quality. So what you are waiting for? Go with the link into the description and purchase some GSX. It is as easy as ordering a pizza. I'm promising you that. And once you did, let's go back to the vlog. So the first stock out of 3 is Carnival Cruise. Why do I like Carnival Cruise that much? First, I talked about this stock when it still was at $10. Okay, I said like this is a great rebound stock. During the health crisis, I said, go and buy Carnival. You would have now 100% more money because, it's just like a great company. The Saudis actually have put a lot of money into this company. Plus, I think it's of all of the cruisers, maybe one of the best because of the management team, because of the fleet, and so on and so forth. So let's have a look what happened since Delta was a thing in the world. And as you can see, since about beginning of June, the stock lost 30%. 30%. And Tom Lee said something very interesting. He said, I believe in higher prices and in the relief in the markets after Delta, which then means, okay, that he buys everything that haven't done 25% or more in the year-to-date performance. And let's have a look what Carnival Cruise actually did, okay? So let's rewind to about 1st of January, and here we go. 4th of January was the first trading day of 2021, and the stock did 4%. Okay, 4%. So he says let's say the cap for him is what made 25% or more. He's not touching because he thinks that, there's all the potential gone. But those companies that did, less than 25% and are recovery stocks are a huge buy and undervalued. So I think this is a great company to hold. If you are interested, I think that they will do pretty well after all the relief and the scarcity and everything is done from the Delta variant. So this is a very, very nice company. $25 billion in market cap. Very interesting. Stay tuned for the next one. So the next one is actually a stock that I will make an option trade, but I really think that this company is really great for the month of August, because if the earnings, which is a little bit confusing because nobody knows when the earnings will be there. There is some, Yahoo Finance is saying it's in 2 days. Then, the company or Earnings Whisper is saying it's on the 9th of August, and so on and so forth. So I believe in the next couple of days, the earnings will come, which then means that the stock can go higher. Let's have a look what they actually have done over the last earnings. Okay, the last earnings were around of, if I'm not mistaken, 9th of May. Okay, so let's have a look if we can find it here real quick. So here, 9th of May, they came out with an earnings surprise, which was 600%. Okay, so as you can see, the Wall Street seems to underestimate Callaway here in a big way, which I'm also betting with my option trade. So, which means in the effect of actions, if you buy the stock for the month of August, I believe that you can maybe get out with 10-20% just in 1 month. Let's see if this really happens, because, as you can see, over the last couple of 2 months, we are on the downhill spine, but good news can change that from one day to another. And again, what they have done after their last earnings, 9th of May till the 11th of May, we got up 5.4%, and then even a couple of days later 17%, and a couple of days later even 24%. Okay, if this happens again, and you can see that it could go higher if you see the chart a little bit here, then I'm pretty much interested. Okay, so this is number 2 of 3. Let's go to the number 3 stock that I believe can explode in August. Before we go into number 3, I want to make sure that you are informed that I have 2 products, okay? You can join the community here and pay monthly and get Discord access where I'm posting exactly this kind of trades, or you can get the masterclass, which you get 35% off with Space 35, where I'm explaining everything, okay? How I become, financially independent with stock investing, what I'm looking into stocks, how I found out about Tesla before anyone else and made thousands% of profit. And if you want to just have lifetime access to my Discord, this is the product for you. So if you just got money and want to invest in yourself to become better and be part of the community, check it out. Now, the last stock is also a recovery stock, okay? And it's actually coming from the US, and it actually is one of my favorite buildings to be inside. I went there, the Wynn Casino in Las Vegas. Beautiful. I mean, I get goosebumps when I'm just talking about this building. It has the best parties. It has the best design. It's so beautiful. It was made by Steve Wynn, one of the biggest guys in Las Vegas. And finally, the stock went absolutely ludicrous over the last couple of months since March 2020. Here you can see almost 200%. And since the Delta variant, they lost a little bit, right? I mean, you can see, in the last couple of 2 months, they lost about 22% with the fear that, Delta variant coming up, the hospitalization and so on. But this can be, according to Tom Lee, the past. And therefore, I'm thinking that this is a very quality business. If you are investing into casinos, I really like to invest into those beautiful casinos, because think about it. If the prices are a little bit higher for Wynn can go down with the prices, and then you are thinking, well, I paid for the, let's say, MGM, which is like a medium luxury building, or I pay the same that I paid last year for MGM and go to the Wynn. So I definitely go to the Wynn, right? If I have the money. So, I think that this is always, quality is one of the best business plans.